is 6:37. It's been about a month since Alabama's amended Safer at Home order allowed more businesses to reopen and events to continue. So just how have these last few weeks been for businesses and events in the Sand Mountain area?
Let's talk to one of our friends out there right now. Joining us via Zoom is Stan Witherow, the president of Albertville Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Witherow, good morning.
Good morning.
A lot of events coming up out there. What safety precautions do you folks have in place out there?
Well, just like everybody else, we're adjusting to the new normal with these precautions, but we actually had our first event this past weekend here called the Sand Mountain Sizzle Steak Cook-Off, and all of the regulations were in place. One of the things that worked for us for this particular event, it was held outside, so it was easy for us to space the teams out that were competing. And the Steak Cook-Off Association that we partnered with for this event actually has regulation for masks to be worn during certain portions of the contest, so that was done. And so we actually had a very successful event this past weekend, and all the procedures were followed.
And that's good to hear. Curious, though, about the amount of people. You said it was a success out there. Were there more people than you anticipated? Because we're just wondering, as people more and more are getting out, or are they a little bit leery of going to things like that? What are you seeing?
Well, this particular event was more of a closed competition. So these people do this on a regular basis and usually travel to do it. However, most of their spring competitions had been canceled. So we had a higher number of teams than we had originally anticipated show up, but it was that everybody followed the regulations and spaced out, so it was successful from everything we could tell, and everyone was very glad that we continued with the event and actually were able to have it.
Turning now to the business side of things, how are your small businesses doing in Albertville, and are they able to kind of resume their customers and just their sales out there?
Well, of course, it depends on the field, really, where you can see where restaurants did not necessarily have to shut down. I've talked to several restaurant owners, and many of them who really innovated during the shutdown period ended up with some good performance during the shutdown even, and are still performing well after being able to reopen even at half capacity. Now, would they like to be at full capacity? I'm sure they would, so they could get back to their normal numbers, but they are performing better than anticipated. Now, if you're on the retail side, some of the retailers who had to be shut down for long periods of time, that took a big hit, especially during the Easter season for retailers. So I think the process is going to be a little slower for them, but it's mixed results out there right now. But overall, in the businesses that have contacted us and we've been in communication with, we're starting to see traffic come back. And of course, by the looks of 431 around here, it's very busy. So hopefully people are taking precautions and still going out and supporting their local businesses.
We've got about 30 seconds left to go. We see these federal programs like Paycheck Protection Program, those kinds of things. Are you seeing that having a positive impact in that area?
Actually, yes. For those that have communicated with us now, we haven't spoken to every one of our members, but one of our whole focuses in the beginning of this was getting the information out there to our membership and to the local community, just so they knew, because information changed so quickly in the beginning, but that we wanted to get the most accurate information to them. And many of them have called us back to say thank you for providing that information, and it helped them, and they have received some of the funding, whether it be the disaster relief loan or the PPP. So we were glad to hear that, especially here in a more rural area.
Yeah, we want to see all of our businesses come back and thrive, definitely for sure. Stan Witherow, the president of Albertville Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much again for joining us this morning.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, it is 6:41 right now on your Thursday morning.